Gemini, how are we today? Just doing some love readings for your weekly reading. Okay, today I'm going to be doing the Celtic cross layout to look at love situations upcoming for you. See what sort of wants to come out. I will be using a combination of three different decks, though, which is slightly different. The main overview energy for that Celtic cross, I will be using the divine goddess messages Oracle. All the other cards, I am using the Weird World Lenormand. This is actually a double deck. It's two decks combined into one, just to make sure we're getting, the most messages as we can. I do feel sometimes we need to see the doubles, so we see the importance of those messages. But I will actually grab a couple of extra cards today as well from the Love Confessions Oracle. Now, make sure you do leave a comment on the video so that you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. Subscribe so you can stay up to date with that. And I will sort of draw all your cards out here first, Gemini, and we'll get into it from there. Okay, Gemini love energy. Starting off with Gemini's energy, love situations for Gemini. So we're starting off with Gemini's present energy, please. All right, and we are going to look backwards for a moment. Grab a card for you for the past, as well as what's ahead of you here. And then looking through what's crossing you and challenging you with this love situation. We have the crown, the ideal desired outcomes. We also see what's beneath you, the subconscious energy. And then those separate side cards here. So we have the advice, your attitude towards the situation, the influences here. We have your hopes and fears, as well as the outcome. Okay, so just trying to make sure I have enough room on my table here. Sorry, Gemini, might be a sec. Starting off with the past, present, future energy for you, Gemini. The past energy, we do see the fox coming through for you here. So in the past, we have maybe been a little bit selfish, a little bit immature when it comes to love situations in your life. But it's not a bad thing. Okay, it's coming from a place where you were just doing what you needed to do to survive. You were being very independent, trying to be very intelligent and rational about the way you have been looking at love situations. But that's definitely stabilizing in the present. We have the stability card for your present overview energy here. So remaining steady on course as you pursue your dreams. All right, so you're definitely looking like it's a kind of positive situation here for you, Gemini. We do have the future energy as the cross coming through. Okay, so there is a sense of destiny about your future here with love. All right, there may be some heavy sort of weights still on your shoulders, once again coming back through from having to protect yourself in certain love situations in the past. Just a bit of feeling a little bit burdened by the weight of the past, I suppose. But there is this strong sense about love in your life at the moment where it's really having faith that everything is falling into place how it is supposed to be for you, and really opening up to the spiritual sides of yourself in order to manifest love in the ways that you do want it here. Speaking of your desired outcomes here, the ideal crown to the situation, we have the ring. Okay, so you just want that stability in a committed kind of a way. You're wanting to make those commitments, those contracts, I suppose, partnerships, things like that. I do sort of get this energy here that there's certain patterns that you've broken free from, and so your desired outcome here is to establish a brand new pattern, to reestablish patterns that work for you with the way that you're committing to people in love and the way that people are committing to you in love. Okay, so commitment being the desired outcome for you here. Pretty straightforward, yeah. The thing that's crossing you, the challenges we're facing, we have the owls coming through here. As a challenge, this is things like it can be gossip and rumors do sort of affect you and throw you off balance when it comes to love situations. You're putting a little bit too much stock into what other people say and the conversations that you're having with people around love stuff. You're kind of putting too much emphasis on conversations that are taking place. I feel like that's taking place between you and friends and things like that, family members and things like that. Rather than conversations directly between you and people that you're interested in with love. Okay, so that's kind of challenging you a little bit. You're kind of quick to believe the rumors about people. If something pops up and someone says, oh well, I think that they must be like this and this and this, like it's kind of just getting that spiraling out of control when someone says something in a negative way about someone that you're interested in with love. You take that too much to heart, rather than just speaking to the person that you're interested in about that issue. You're kind of believing the rumors, believing the gossip about somebody, rather than giving them the benefit of the doubt and asking them directly. Okay, so that is a bit of a challenge here to be a little bit wiser with the information that you're taking on board when it comes to love situations. That it's kind of giving this energy here, Gemini, of some people may be giving you some bad advice. It's not that they're intentionally giving you bad advice. It's this energy of sometimes people give advice from their own fears and their own doubts and their own past, and it kind of sometimes goes against what works for you. They sort of, this worked for me, and when so and so said this, it meant that this was happening, and it kind of spirals out of control. So it's kind of that energy. You see it sometimes on social media, like or I do watch a lot of the Reddit posts and things like that, like YouTube videos are talking about Reddit stories, and it's kind of this thing of like the presumption that the worst case scenario is the right thing. So it's like just as an example here, I'm just going to use a Reddit story kind of example here. It's like someone says, oh, my husband was an hour late home from work, and of course everyone jumps to, oh, he's cheating, he must be cheating. And that's kind of what you're doing. You're kind of jumping to conclusions, I feel, just because of things other people are saying and other people's presumptions that are being placed on your situation, which may not be right for your particular situation. Okay, so especially with the cross here in your future position, it really does show us that you kind of do need to have faith and trust your own intuition. You've got a lot of spiritual energy here, and you need to kind of trust that a little bit more. Trust the universe will work things out how it's supposed to, good and bad. But it's just sort of asking you to take that on board, okay? Because especially when we do see the subconscious energy here, what's beneath you, we have the bear. Okay, and the bear is someone that sets up very strong boundaries. But the issue is with this in your subconscious energy, sometimes the bear can get very defensive, rather than protecting itself, like we all need to do in having healthy boundaries and things like that. Sometimes in that subconscious energy, the bear can kind of like get the grr on and block us from the good things because it's getting too defensive. And instead of creating healthy boundaries, it's creating like this gigantic big wall around yourself and not allowing anybody in. So you're kind of needing to let the walls down a little bit here as well, Gemini, because that is sort of going on in your subconscious energy, that those walls are very quick to rise, and just needing to have a look at the boundaries that you're setting, and are they actually healthy boundaries, or are they impassable fortress walls that you're putting up here? Are you leaving a door there so that you can actually open up and let people in and be a little bit more vulnerable sometimes, and benefit of the doubt and having that hope and that faith moving forward in the future, needing to allow that space for that to happen as well. Okay, so looking here at your attitude, your advice towards the situation, we have the ring. See what I mean about sometimes the doubles are very important? So we do have the ring coming through for your advice. So it's kind of asking us to, we did see the ring also in your crown card, your ideal desired outcome card. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Very important to keep that in mind of what my desired outcome here is. I want commitment. So when we're putting those boundaries around ourselves, we're putting boundaries around that are leading us to, you know, say, oh, commitment. I'm not going to, lower my defenses too much if I'm not, seeing potential commitment here. But it also does let us know to, really look at the patterns that you have been in the past cycles you've been in with love and romance, and learn from those, break those cycles rather than allowing them to sort of loop back around and meet the same person in different skin, because that happens quite often with patterns and cycles, with that karmic loop and stuff, that you might think you're meeting somebody totally brand new, but then the more that you get to know them, they're exactly the same situation you've just gotten out of, that didn't work for you. So being very aware to break those cycles and focus on the end goals, which seems to be that commitment, the someone being committed to you in the ways that you want, and you being committed to love as well. Okay, so this is your advice, is to commit to what you truly desire here. You're not going to take second best. You're not going to settle for a situationship if that's not what your true desire is. Okay, so keeping that in mind there as well. The influences here, we do have the rider coming through as your influence. Very interesting as an influence, because this is once again referring to other people getting in the way of things, because the writer is like news on the way to you. So once again, it does feel very much like this gossip energy, this gossipy energy, other people telling you this, and, oh, I've got news about this person, listen to this, did you hear about this? And you're believing these gossip and these rumors rather than giving the benefit of the doubt and addressing it directly. You're kind of circumnavigating the true conversations that need to happen. And once again, that bad kind of advice, it's like, oh, I've got news. It's like, oh, well, if someone's an hour late from work, they're definitely cheating. That's just, there's no such thing as maybe they had to stop and get fuel and got sidetracked. Lots of different things can cause somebody to be an hour late home from work, just as that example once again. But it's kind of like the influence here is movement as well, that you are wanting movement. So I do feel that with this in your future position as well, there is an element here of kind of allowing things to fall into place, allowing the universe to unfold that as it will, rather than forcing it. So you kind of rushing in is maybe influencing the situation in a certain kind of a way as well. So just be aware of that as a bit of an influence on the situation, that you may be sort of rushing in a little bit too fast. So slow it down a little bit. The movement so is definitely influencing the situation here. The hopes and the fears. We have the key. Okay, so this is very interesting as hopes and fears, because as a hope, the key really talks about, that this opportunity could lead to success. But as a fear, it talks about, is this the right opportunity? The key unlocks many doors. And it's kind of like if you're standing at the end of a hallway and you can see 10 doors ahead of you, you have this key in your hand that will unlock any of those doors. And you're moving towards this one specific door. And now your fear is questioning, but is that the right door? Should I pick door number 3 instead of door number 1? You're questioning that maybe there's too many options available to you, and you're questioning, am I taking the right option here? Once again, trust, faith is moving forward in the future energy for you. So definitely just, pick your door and move on ahead, and focus on the hope that this is the right door. I've picked the right door, and there's going to be success for me on the other side of that door. Okay, because you know what? If there's not, you can turn back around, come back out that door, choose a different one. There's always a redo. But you're kind of allowing your fear of options get in the way, that, oh, maybe I've got more options. Maybe I can find, better options if I just keep looking. But then you get this thing of where you just keep looking and just keep looking, but you don't actually make a choice and move through a door at all. All right, so you just get stuck in that hallway. Now, the outcome, we do have the rider coming through again, but this is a little bit different this time. All right, so as an outcome, the rider is actually telling us, good news that you are moving towards your result, like your outcome that you desire here. You are moving in the right direction. There is an element here of, if you fall off that horse, you get back up and you try again and you ride off into the sunset. The outcome is riding off into the sunset, the happily ever after, which, there's no such thing as happily ever after, but we don't need to get into that conversation. But, it's something that you've got to keep picking yourself back up and trying again. Keep picking yourself back up, try again, keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. So the outcome is definitely you're going to get that forward movement that you're desiring, and you're going to get those outcomes that you are after here. It's just a matter of, if I fall, I'll just get back up and keep on going. All right, but we'll have a look at the love confession cards and see what wants to come out for you as well, Gemini. Extra messages for Gemini with love, please. What else does Gemini need to know in regards to love? Gemini. Whoa, dropping cards here. I love the way you carry yourself. Okay, so that is alluding directly to those two rider cards, that the way that you just keep on moving forward, you pick yourself up and you get back on that horse and you ride off again. The way that you carry yourself and you hold yourself in this once again, it's coming back through with this stability. You're very stable at the moment in your present energy. You've got this stability energy going on, and then moving into the future, you've just got this, I know that it's going to work out for me. I know that everything's going to work out for me. So I'm just going to hold my head high and keep moving forward. And, people around you see that and love that about you. We do also see, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. Okay, so there may be somebody in your energy here that is wanting to, be an option for you, or wanting to come towards you. But they are a little bit, they have their own inner vulnerabilities, as we all do. We all have our own insecurities and things like that. It's actually telling me kind of things like, oh, Gemini is like, they earn too much, like they earn a lot more money than I do. And those sorts of things, like material stuff, like, oh, Gemini's got their life together and so therefore they're better than me. But it's kind of, I feel like you're just like, no. But it is just a background concern. It doesn't feel like it's going to stop this connection. It just feels like it's something to be aware of, that, that remembrance, that because you're coming from this past energy of the fox, which can be very self-focused and very independent, it is very important sometimes to remember that everybody has fear, everybody has insecurities, and so does your person, Gemini. So keep that in mind, and that's what we have for you. Like I said, leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and I will see you all again soon.